바이블 1311 John 11 요한복음 11장을 네이티브 스피커의 목소리와 함께 읽어보도록 하겠습니다.
Chapter 11. Now a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha.
Now a man named Lazarus was sick. A man named Lazarus. 그 라자로라고 이름하는 사람이 was sick. 아팠습니다. He was from Bethany. He was from Bethany. 라자로스는 he was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. 그 베다니는 the village of Mary, 마리아가 있는 그 마을, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. 그 시스터 자매인 마르사의 그 마을인 베다니 출신이었습니다.
This Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick, was the same one who poured perfume on the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair.
This Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick, was the same one who poured perfume on the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair. 이 마리아라는 여자는 this Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick. 그 마리아의 whose brother Lazarus가 now lay sick. 지금 아파서 누워 있는데 lay sick에 있는데 그 마리아는 was the same one. 같은 사람이었습니다. Who poured perfume on the Lord. 주님께 poured perfume. 향유 옥합을 부었던 그 마리아하고 같은 그 향유 옥합을 부었던 마리아가 바로 라자루스의 그 같은 이제 형제 자매인데, 그리고 wiped his feet with her hair. 그 머리털로 그 예수의 그 발에다가 퍼퓸을 붓고 예수의 발을 wiped his feet 했던 그 바로 그 메리 마리아였습니다.
So the sisters sent word to Jesus, Lord, the one you love is sick.
So the sisters sent word to Jesus. 그래서 마리아와 마르사가 the sisters가 sent word to Jesus. 예수께 그 전가를 sent word 보냈는데, Lord, the one you love is sick. 주님, 당신이 사랑하는 이 the one you love is sick. 라자루스를 말하는데 라자루스하고 예수님이 아주 사랑하는 사람이었는가 본데 the one you love is sick. 지금 라자루스가 is sick, 아픕니다. 그 sisters가 예수님의 발에 그 향유 옥합을 깨뜨릴 정도가 됐으니까 그 마리아와 마르사는 아주 예수님을 사랑하는 그러한 자매였는데 the sisters sent a word to Jesus.
When he heard this, Jesus said, This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it.
When he heard this, 예수께서 이것을 들었을 때, when he heard this, Jesus said, This sickness will not end in death. This sickness, 이 sickness는, 이 병은 will not end in death. 죽음 안에서 끝나지 않을 것이다. This sickness will not end in death. No, it's for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it. 그것은 is for God's glory, 하나님의 영광을 위하는 것인데, 그래서 so that God's Son may be glorified through it. 하나님의 아들이 may be glorified, 영광을 be glorified, 영광을 받게 될 것이다. through it, 그것을 통해서, 라자루스의 sickness를 통해서, so that God's Son may be glorified through it.
Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus.
Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. 예수님께서 loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. 마르사와 her sister인 메리와 and 라자루스를 아주 사랑하셨습니다.
Yet when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days.
Yet when he heard that Lazarus was sick, 그러나 when he heard that, 그가 들었을 때 Lazarus was sick 하다는 것을 when he heard that, 들었을 때 he stayed where he was 2 more days. 그가 예수께서 he stayed where? 그 장소에 더 stayed 했는데 he was 2 more days. where he was, 그가 있던 장소에 he stayed where he was 2 more days. 2 more days를 he stayed where he was, 그가 있던 곳에 더 stay 했습니다.
Then he said to his disciples, Let us go back to Judea.
Then he said to his disciples, Let us go back to Judea. 그리고는 he said to his disciples 하기를 Let us go back to Judea. Let us go back to Judea. 유대로 다시 돌아가자.
But Rabbi, they said, a short while ago the Jews tried to stone you, and yet you're going back there?
But Rabbi, they said, 그런 disciples 제자들이 말하기를 A short while ago the Jews tried to stone you. A short while ago, 잠시 전에 a short while ago에 the Jews tried to stone you. 주들이 유대인들이 돌을 던지려고 했지 않습니까? 근데 yet you are going back there. You are going back there. 당신이 거기에 go back, going back there 하려고 하는 것입니까? That a short while ago the Jews tried to stone you, and yet you are going back there.
Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours of daylight? A man who walks by day will not stumble, for he sees by this world's light.
Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours of daylight? Are there not 12 hours of daylight? Daylight, not 낮의 빛이 낮의 빛이 12 hours가 아니냐. 지금 낮이 지금 정오가 아니냐. Are there not 12 hours of daylight? A man who works by day will not stumble. A man who works by day. 그 낮에 걷는 사람은 A man who works by day. A man, 그 사람이 어떤 사람 who works by day. 낮에 걷는 사람은 will not stumble, 넘어지지 않을 것이다. A man who works by day will not stumble. For he sees by this world's light. 왜냐하면 그가 he sees by this world's light. 이 세상의 빛으로 보기 때문에. For he sees by this world's light. 그가 he sees by this world's light. 그가 이제 낮에 걷는 사람은 A man who works by day will not stumble 하는데 왜냐? For he sees by this world's light. 이 세상의 그 빛으로서 걷기 때문에 stumble 하지가 않는 것이다.
It is when he walks by night that he stumbles, for he has no light.
It is when he walks by night that he stumbles. 그러나 it is when, 그것이 언제냐? When he works by night. 밤에 걸을 때에는 that he stumbles. 그가 넘어지는 때다. It is when he works by night that he stumbles. For he has no right. 왜냐하면 he has no right. right이 없기 때문에 he has no right. 밤이기 때문에 it is when he works by night that he stumbles.
After he said this, he went on to tell them, Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going there to wake him up.
After he had said this, he went on to tell them. After he had said this, 예수께서 이 말을 하시고 나서 he had said this. After he had said this, he went on to tell them. Went on to tell them. 그들에게 계속 얘기를 했는데 Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep. Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep. 우리 친구 나사로가 has fallen asleep. 잠들었다. fall asleep. 잠들다. has fallen asleep. 이미 잠들었다. has fallen asleep 했다. But I am going there to wake him up. 그러나 I am going there. 내가 거기 갈 것인데 to wake him up. wake him up. 그를 깨우려고 wake up 하려고 to wake him up 하려고 I am going there. 거기에 갈 것이다.
His disciples replied, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better.
His disciples replied, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better. His disciples replied 하기를 Lord, 주님, if he sleeps, 만약에 라자루스가 fall asleep 했다면은 he will get better. 그가 나을 것입니다. get better. 낫게 될 것입니다. get better 할 것입니다. He will get better. If he sleeps, he will get better.
Jesus had been speaking of his death, but his disciples thought he meant natural sleep.
Jesus had been speaking of his death, 예수께서 had been speaking 한 것은 of his death. 죽음을 Jesus had been speaking of his death 말했는데 but his disciples thought he meant natural sleep. His disciples thought. 그러나 그 제자들은 어떻게 생각했느냐? His disciples thought he meant natural sleep. He meant natural sleep. 자연적인 잠을 falling asleep을 했다가 그냥 잠이 와가지고 그렇게 fall asleep한 natural sleep을 생각했습니다.
So then he told them plainly, Lazarus is dead.
So then he told them plainly. 그래서 예수께서 he told them plainly 분명하게 plainly하게 말하기를 라자루스 is dead. 라자루스가 fall asleep 했다는 것은 죽었다는 말이다. 라자루스 is dead. 구약에도 이제 죽었다, 잠들었다는 걸로 많이 표현을 하게 되는데 라자루스 is dead. 라자루스가 죽었다.
And for your sake I am glad I was not there so that you may believe. But let us go to him.
And for your sake I am glad I was not there. For your sake, 뭐뭐를 위해서, 너희를 위해서 for your sake I am glad I was not there. 나는 기쁘다. I was not there. 내가 거기에 없었다는 것이. For your sake I am glad I was not there. So that you may believe. 그래서 너희가 you may believe. 너희가 믿게 될 것이다. But let us go to him. 이제 그 라자루스에게로 가자. Let us go to him.
Then Thomas, called Didymus, said to the rest of the disciples, Let us also go, that we may die with him.
Then Thomas, called Didymus, said to the rest of the disciples. 그때 이제 도마가 디두모라고 디드무스라고 불리는 도마가 말하기를 said to the rest of the disciples. The rest of the disciples. 제자들 나머지 제자들에게 토마스 디드무스가 말하기를 Let us also go. 우리도 또 가자. That we may die with him. We may die with him. 우리도 그 라자루스와 함께 죽을 것이다. We may die with him. 같이 죽으러 가자. 그 라자루스가 이제 예수님이 죽었다고 그렇게 하니까 그걸로 가자 그러니까 토마스 디드무스가 Let us also go. That we may die with him. 우리도 또한 그와 함께 죽을 수 있을 것이다.
On his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days.
On his arrival, 그 도착을 해보니까 on his arrival, 도착을 할 때 Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Jesus found that, 예수께서 아셨는데 Lazarus had already been, 라자루가 already had been, 그게 had been 있어 왔다는 것을 in the tomb for 4 days. 무덤에 in the tomb for 4 days를 있었다는 것을 알았습니다.
Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem, and
Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem. 그 라자루스와 마리아와 마르사가 있는 베다니라는 마을은 Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem. 예루살렘에서 2마일도 안 되는 그런 이제 곳이었는데 제루살렘에서 거기 가려면 2마일이니까 그렇게 많이 걸리는 그런 시간은 아닌데 뭐 아무리 걸려도 뭐 1시간 안에 도착하는 그런 2마일 뭐 그래서 천천히 걸어가도 충분히 그렇게 물론 그런 거리는 예루살렘에서 먼 거리는 아니었는데 Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem.
many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them in the loss of their brother.
And many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them in the loss of their brother. 그리고 many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them. 많은 유대인들이, 많은 주들이 had come to Martha and Mary. 마르다와 마리아에게 왔는데 to comfort them. 그들을 위로하려고, comfort 하려고 to comfort them in the loss of their brother. in the loss of their brother. 그들의 형제 브라더인 그 라사루스를 잃은 거에 대해서 to comfort them 하려고 이렇게 many Jews had come. many Jews, 많은 유대인들이 왔다는 거 보니까 그 유대인들 가운데에서도 라자루스와 마리아와 마르사가 아주 신앙심이 돈독하고 많이 이제 유대인들 가운데 알려진 그런 사람인 것 같은데 그것을 to comfort them 하려고 in the loss of their brother.
When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home.
When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, 그때 이제 마르사가 Jesus was coming 했다는 것을 들었을 때 she went out to meet him. 그 마르사가 went out to meet him. 예수님을 맞으려고 went out, 나갔습니다. But Mary stayed at home. 그러나 마리아는 Mary stayed at home. 마리아는 이제 집에 이렇게 stayed, 머물러 있었습니다.
Lord, Martha said to Jesus, if you had been here, my brother would not have died.
Lord, Martha said to Jesus. 마르다가 이제 Martha said to Jesus. 예수께 말하기를 주님, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. If you had been here, 당신이 만약 여기 있었다면, had been here 했다면, my brother would not have died. Would not have died 하지 않았을 것입니다. My brother would not have died. Would not have died 하지 않았을 것인데.
But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask.
But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask. 그러나 마르사가 말하기를 저는 알고 있습니다. I know that even now, 지금이라도 God will give you, 하나님이 당신에게 줄 것임을 whatever you ask, 당신이 뭘 구하든지 whatever you ask, 당신은 하나님의 뜻을 따라서 행하는 하나님이 아버지께서 원하시는 것 무엇이든지 whatever you ask 하는 것은 다 주는 것을 제가 알고 있기 때문에 God will give you whatever you ask.
Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again.
그러니까 Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. 너의 형제가, 너의 brother가 will rise again. 다시 살아날 것이다. Your brother will rise again.
Martha answered, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day.
Martha answered, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. 그러니까 마르사가 말하기를 I know, 저도 알고 있습니다. He will rise again. 그가 다시 he will rise again. 다시 살아날 것입니다. In the resurrection at the last day. 마지막 날 at the last day에 in the resurrection. 부활 때에 in the resurrection at the last day에 나의 형제 라자루스가 he will rise again. 다시 부활할 것을 저는 알고 있습니다.
Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies.
Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. 그러니까 예수께서 Jesus said to her, 마르사에게 말하기를 I am the resurrection and the life. 내가 그 부활이고 resurrection이고 the life. 그 생명이다. 내가 I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live. 내 안에서 믿는 자는 will live, 살게 될 것이고 even though he dies. 그가 죽을지라도 he who believes in me, 나를 믿게 되면 will live, 살게 될 것이다. I am the resurrection and the life.
And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?
And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? 그리고 예수님께서 마르사에게 whoever lives and believes in me, 누구든지 lives and believes, 누구든지 살고 내 안에서 살고 믿는 자는, 나와 함께 거하면서 믿는 자는 will never die, 결코 죽지 않을 것이다. Do you believe this? 너가 이걸 믿느냐? 나를 믿으면 결코 죽지 않는다는 사실을 Do you believe this? 너가 이것을 믿느냐 말했어요.
Yes, Lord, she told him. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who was to come into the world.
Yes, Lord, she told him, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who was to come into the world. 그러니까 마르사가 말하기를 I believe that you are the Christ. 예, 저는 당신이 그리스도 메시아임을, 하나님의 아들, the Son of God임을 믿습니다. Who was to come into the world. 그 메시아가 was to come into the world. 이 세상에 왔어야만 될, was to come into the world 해야만 될 그런 메시아였음을 I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God.
And after she had said this, she went back and called her sister Mary aside. The teacher is here, she said, and is asking for you.
And after she had said this, 그리고는 그 마르사가 she had said this, 이것을 말하고 나서 she went back and called her sister Mary aside. 그리고는 다 자기의 이제 자매의 시스터 메리가 생각이 났는지 went back and called her sister Mary aside. 메리를 부르러 갔습니다. 한쪽으로 이렇게 Mary aside. 한쪽으로 이제 부르러 가서는 the teacher is here, she said. 그리고는 the teacher is here. 그 선생님이 여기 계시다. And is asking for you. 그리고는 너를 asking for you is asking for you. 너를 찾고 있다. asking for you. 마르사가 이제 마리아를 찾아가지고 is asking for you. 너를 보고 싶어한다. is asking for you.
When Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him.
When Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. 그래서 이제 Mary heard this. 마리아가 자기 시스터 마르사가 그렇게 막 asking for you 한다 그러니까 그래서 when Mary heard this, 마리아가 그것을 듣고 she got up quickly and went to him. She got up quickly, 빨리 일어나서 went to him. 그 예수께로 갔습니다. Got up quickly and went to him.
Now Jesus had not yet entered the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him.
Now Jesus had not yet entered the village. 예수께서는 아직 had not yet entered the village. 그 베스니에 아직 들어오지도 않았는데 Jesus had not yet entered the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. 그 at the place where, 그 장소에 Martha had met him. 마르다가 그를 만났던 장소에 was still, 여전히 거기에 was 있었는데 was still at the place where Martha had met him.
When the Jews who had been with Mary in the house, comforting her, noticed how quickly she got up and went out, they followed her, supposing she was going to the tomb to mourn there.
When the Jews who had been with Mary in the house, comforting her, noticed how quickly she got up and went out. 유대인들이 이제 막 many Jews가 많이 찾아왔다 했는데, when the Jews who had been with Mary in the house, 집에 마리아와 함께 있던 그 유대인들이 comforting her, 그 마리아를 위로하러 왔던 그 유대인들이 noticed, 알게 된 것은 how quickly she got up and went out. 빨리, 그가 어떻게 빨리 how quickly she got up 해서는 went out, 나가는 것을 noticed, 그것을 알게 됐을 때에 they followed her. 그들이 유대인들이 많은 many Jew들이 그 마리아를 따라갔는데 they followed her, supposing she was going to the tomb to mourn there. 뭔 줄 이렇게 예상을 했냐면, supposing 했냐면은, supposing she was going to the tomb. 무덤에 가는 줄 알고, to mourn there. 거기에서 라자루스를 이렇게 애곡하기 위해서, she was going to the tomb to mourn there. 거기에 이제 mourn하려고, 애곡하려고 가는 줄 알고, supposing. 그렇게 생각하고는, they followed her. 많은 유대인들이 그 마리아를 따라가 나갔는데,
When Mary reached the place where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died.
When Mary reached the place where Jesus was and saw him, 마리아가 reach the place, 그 장소에 reached, 도착하다, reach the place, 그 장소에 reach하다, reach. 뭐 전화를 이렇게 전화를 할 때 전화를 이렇게 하고 싶다 할 때도 이렇게 reach라는 단어를 쓰는데 reach the place where Jesus was. 예수가 거기에 있는 장소에 reach 됐을 때, 그리고 saw him, 예수를 봤을 때야 she fell at his feet and said. 거기에 이제 발을 이렇게 거기에 fell at his feet, 발을 꿇고 무릎을 꿇고는 말하기를 Lord, if you had been here. 만약에 당신이 여기에 if you had been here 했더라면은 my brother would not have died. 나의 형제 라자루스가 would not have died. 죽지 않았을 것인데.
When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come along with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled.
When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come along with her also weeping. When Jesus saw her weeping, 그리고 예수께서 그 마리아가 우는 것을 보았을 때에 and the Jews who had come along with her also weeping. 그리고는 그 유대인들이 who had come along with her, 그와 함께 come along 했던 같이 왔던 그 유대인들도 also weeping, 같이 이렇게 울고 마리아가 오니까 유대인들도 같이 울고 굉장히 많이 서로 마음을 이렇게 공감하는 그런 이제 사이였는 것을 알 수 있는데 he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. 그렇게 같이 마리아가 그렇게 라자루스가 죽은 데 대해서 그렇게 슬퍼하고 우니까 유대인들도 같이 왔던 주들도 울고 그러니까 he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. 예수께서 아주 깊이 moved in spirit 아주 in spirit이 아주 deeply moved 그것이 이제 deeply moved 아주 deeply moved 아주 깊이 이렇게 어떤 것을 느끼게 됐는데 움직이게 되어서 he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. 그래서 이제 곧 그 우는 것을 보고 이렇게 troubled 했습니다. 아주 괴로웠습니다. troubled. 그것을 he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled 되었습니다.
Where have you laid him? He asked. Come and see, Lord, they replied.
Where have you laid him? He asked. 그리고 예수께서 묻기를 Where have you laid him? 그 라자루스를 어디에 laid 했느냐? 어디에 누웠느냐? Where have you laid him? Where have you laid him? Come and see, Lord, they replied. 그러니까 이제 주들하고 같이 있으니까 유대인들이 Come and see, Lord, they replied. 그들이 말하기를 이리로 와서 보십시오. Come and see, Lord, they replied.
Jesus wept.
그러니까 예수께서 그 누인들을 가셔서 그 무덤에서 Jesus wept. 예수께서 wept 우셨습니다. 예수께서 Jesus wept. 그 라자루스의 죽은 4days 동안 나흘을 그렇게 무덤에 이렇게 묻혀 있는 라자루를 보시고 Jesus wept.
Then the Jews said, See how he loved him.
Then the Jews said, See how he loved him. 그러니까 유대인들이 말하기를 See how he loved him. 봐라. 얼마나 그를 라자루스를 사랑했는지 저렇게 라자루스의 무덤 앞에서 Jesus wept 할 정도로 그렇게 울고 지금 있지 않냐. See how he loved him. See how he loved him.
But some of them said, Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?
But some of them said, 그러나 그들 중에 이제 그 유대인들 중에 일부가 some of them said, 그러나 he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying? Could not he, 그가 할 수 없었더냐? Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man? 그 블라인드 맨의 눈을 오픈한 사람이 could not he have kept this man from dying? keep from ing 뭐 하는 것으로부터 keep 하다 그러니까 못하게 하다는 건데 have kept 하니까 못하게 할 수가 없었느냐? have kept this man from dying. have kept this man 이 사람을 kept 할 수 없었느냐? from dying 죽는 것으로부터 have kept this man from dying. 그렇게 할 수는 없었느냐? Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?
Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance.
Jesus once more deeply moved came to the tomb. 그리고 예수께서는 다시 한번 once more deeply moved. 아까 마리아와 그 유대인들이 함께 울 때에 deeply moved 했다는데 다시 한번 once more deeply moved came to the tomb. 그리고는 다시 한번 이렇게 마음이 또 움직여가지고 once more deeply moved came to the tomb. 무덤으로 이제 갔습니다. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. 그것은 it was a cave, 동굴이었는데, cave였는데, it was cave with a stone laid. 스톤을 이렇게 놓아놓은 그러한 cave였는데, it was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. 그 입구를 가로질러서 across the entrance에서 with a stone으로 이렇게 막아놓은 그러한 it was cave, 그러한 동굴이었는데, 돌무덤이었는데,
Take away the stone, he said. But Lord, said Martha, the sister of the dead man. By this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days.
Take away the stone, he said. 그러니까 예수께서 take the stone, take away the stone, take away the stone. 그 스톤을 take away 해라. 그 스톤을 돌을 이렇게 드러내라. Take away the stone. But Lord, said Martha. 그러니까 마르사가 말하기를 the sister of the dead man. 그 라사로스 죽은 자의 sister인 the sister of the dead man. 이 말하기를 by this time there is a bad odor. By this time 지금까지 by this time 지금쯤에 there is a bad odor. 아주 악한 악한 냄새가 bad odor이 by this time 지금쯤에는 there is a bad odor. 아주 bad odor가 아주 역한 냄새가 있는데 왜냐하면 for he has been there 4 days. He has been there 4 days. 그 나흘을 그게 4일 동안을 he has been there 4 days. 4일을 있었기 때문에 there is a bad odor. bad odor 아주 악취가 나는데
Then Jesus said, Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?
Then Jesus said, Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? 그때 예수께서 말씀하시기를 Did I not tell you that if you believed? Did I not tell you that? 너희에게 말하지 않았냐? 데디아를 if you believed. 만약에 너희가 믿으면은 if you believed, you would see the glory of God. You would see the glory of God. 너희가 하나님의 영광을 볼 것이라고 Did I tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?
So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me.
So they took away the stone. 그래서 그들이 took away the stone. 그 스톤을 took away 했는데 Then Jesus looked up and said. 그리고는 예수께서는 looked up and said. 하늘을 보면서 말하기를 Father, I thank you that you have heard me. 아버지여 감사합니다. I thank you that you have heard me. 당신이 나를 들은 것을 you have heard me. You have heard me 한 것을 I thank you that you have heard me.
I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me.
I knew that you always hear me. 나는 알고 있었습니다. I knew that you always hear me. 항상 당신이 나를 듣는다는 것을 you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here. 그러나 내가 이것을 말하는 것은 I said this for the benefit of the people standing here. 여기에 있는 그 서 있는 사람들의 베니핏을 위해서, 은총을 위해서 말합니다. 은혜를 위해서. That they may believe that you sent me. 그리고 그들이 they may believe 믿게 될 것인데 they may believe that you sent me. 당신이 나를 보내셨다는 것을 그들이 믿게 되는데 내가 이것을 I said this 내가 이것을 말하는 것은 for the benefit of the people standing here. 여기에 서 있는 사람들의 그 베니핏을 위해서, 은총을 위해서 내가 이것을 당신께 말하는 것입니다. 당신이 나를 보내신 것을 they may believe that you sent me.
When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out!
When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out! When he had said this, 이 말씀을 이제 예수께서 하시고, when he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice. 예수께서 in a loud voice, 큰 소리로 말하기를, Lazarus, come out! Lazarus, come out! 그렇게 in a loud voice로 얘기했는데,
The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, Take off the grave clothes and let him go.
The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. 그 데드맨 라자루스가 came out. Lazarus came out 하니까 그 라자루스가 the dead man came out. 정말로 나왔습니다. 예수님이 Lazarus came out. come out 하니까 Lazarus come out 하니까 the dead man came out. 라자루스가 came out 했는데 his hands and feet left with strips of linen. 그의 손과 발이 hands and feet가 left with 뭐로 left with 됐느냐? strips of linen. 린넌 붕대 스트립으로 left with strips of linen 됐고 a cloth around his face. 그 천이 cloth가 around his face. 그 얼굴을 이렇게 감싸고 있는 붕대로 그 시체를 감싸는 a cloth around his face 됐는데 Jesus said to them. 예수께서 그들에게 말씀하시기를 Take out the grave clothes and let him go. Take out the grave clothes. 그 grave 무덤의 grave clothes. grave clothes. 그 이제 염할 때 쓰는 그런 grave clothes를 take off. 그것을 벗겨라. Take out the grave clothes and let him go. 그리고 그로 하여금 가게 하라. Take off the grave clothes and let him go.
Therefore many of the Jews who had come to visit Mary and had seen what Jesus did put their faith in him.
Therefore many of the Jews who had come to visit Mary and had seen what Jesus did put their faith in him. 그래서 many of the Jews who had come to visit Mary, who had come to visit Mary 했던 그 many of the Jews가 그리고 had seen what Jesus did. 그것을 had seen what Jesus did. 예수께서 하신 것을 본 그 many of the Jews가 put their faith in him. 그를 예수를 믿게 되었습니다. Put their faith in him.
But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done.
But some of them ran to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. 그러나 some of them, 그들 중에 일부가 went to the Pharisees and told them, 바리새인들에 가서 말했는데 what Jesus had done, what Jesus had done, 예수께서 하신 그 일을 some of them went to the Pharisees and told them, Pharisees한테 가서 말을 했습니다.
Then the chief priests and the Pharisees called a meeting of the Sanhedrin.
Then the chief preacher and the Pharisees called a meeting of the Sanhedrin. 그래서 chief preacher, 대제사장들, chief preacher와 and the Pharisees, 바리새인들이 called the meeting of the Sanhedrin. 뭐를 소집했냐면은 a meeting of the Sanhedrin. 산헤드린 공회의 모임을 소집을 하게 되었습니다. 형사 재판권은 이제 로마 정부에 있지만 종교나 일부의 그 일을 그 외의 일을 결정할 수 있는 아주 그런 모임, 그런 모임을 a meeting of the Sanhedrin의 모임을 이렇게 the chief preacher와 Pharisees가 그것을 이제 소집을 하게 됐는데
What are we accomplishing? They asked. Here is this man performing many miraculous signs. If we let him go on like this, everyone will believe in him, and then the Romans will come and take away both our place and our nation.
What are we accomplishing? 우리가 뭐를 accomplishing, 성취했냐? What are we accomplishing? They asked. 그들이 이제 묻기를 What are we accomplishing? 뭐를 우리가 What are we accomplishing? 뭐를 지금 accomplishing 하고 있냐? 뭐를 accomplishing 했냐? Here is this man performing many miraculous signs. 여기에 이 사람을 봐라. performing many miraculous signs. 많은 miraculous signs를 performing. 행하는 이 사람이 여기에 있다. If we let him go on like this. If we let him go on like this. Go on like this. 이처럼 계속 let him go on. 계속 하게 한다면은 그를 계속 이렇게 go on. 계속 하게 한다면은 If we let him go on like this. If we let him go on like this 한다면은 everyone will believe in him. Everyone will believe in him. 그를 예수를 믿게 될 것이고 and then the Romans will come and take away both our place and our nation. 그리고 그러면은 and then 그런 다음에 로마 사람들이 또 Romans가 will come 와서는 take away 가져가 버릴 것이다. 뭐를 both our place 우리의 장소와 our nation 우리 민족을 take away 해버릴 것이다. 왜냐하면은 이 사람이 무례하게 그 사람들을 해서 이제 자기의 나라를 아마 쟁취하는 걸로 로마 정부에 대해서 그런 인상을 주게 된다는 걸로 이제 유대인들이 생각을 했는 모양인데 예수를 이대로 가만히 놔도 많은 사람들이 그를 믿게 되어가지고 이상하게 로마 사람들이 이상하게 여겨서 하게 되기 때문에 If we let him go on like this 하면은 everyone will believe in him. 모든 사람이 그를 믿어가지고 그런 다음에는 로마 사람들이 또 Romans will come and take away both our place and our nation 하게 될 것이다.
Then one of them, named Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, spoke up. You know nothing at all.
Then one of them named Caiaphas, who was high priest that year. 그들 중에 한 사람인 one of them named Caiaphas, 카야바스라는 사람, who was high priest that year. 그 해에 high priest, 대제사장이었는데, who was high priest that year, spoke up 하기를, you know nothing at all. 너희들은 nothing at all, 전혀 모른다. You know nothing at all. 너희는 그렇게 모르냐. You know nothing at all.
You do not realize that it is better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish.
You do not realize that it is better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish. You do not realize that. 너희가 realize, 알지를 못한다. You do not realize that it is better for you. 너희에게 더 낫다는 것. That이야. That one man die for the people. 백성을 위해서 one man die, 한 사람이 죽는 것이 one man die for the people 하는 것이 낫다는 것을 it is better for you, 너희를 위해서 낫다는 것을 you do not realize, 너희가 알지를 못한다. 뭐 하는 것보다 then that the whole nation perish, the whole nation perish, 온 민족이, 온 유대 민족이 whole nation perish 하는 것보다 one man die for the people 하는 것이 It's better for you. It is better for you 하다는 것을 너희가 알지를 못한다.
He did not say this on his own, but as high priest that year he prophesied that Jesus would die for the Jewish nation.
He did not say this on his own. 이것은 가야바스가 그렇게 말한 것은 high priest가 말한 것은 he did not say this on his own. 그 자신에 의해서 말한 것이 아닌데, but as high priest that year, 그해 high priest로서 as high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus would die for the Jewish nation. 그 가야바스가 he prophesied 한 것은 Jesus would die for the Jewish nation. 유대 민족을 위해서 Jesus would die, 예수가 죽게 될 것을 prophesied, 예언한 것이었습니다.
And not only for that nation, but also for the scattered children of God, to bring them together and make them one.
And not only for that nation, but also for the scattered children of God. 그리고 not only for that nation, 그 유대 민족뿐만 아니라, but also for the scattered children of God. scattered, 흩어진 하나님의 자녀들을 위한 것이었습니다. To bring them together and make them one. 뭘 하기 위해서? To bring them together. 그들을 함께 데려오기 위해서. Bring them together and make them one. 그들을 make them one, 하나로 만들기 위해서 그렇게 한 것이었습니다. Jesus would die for the Jewish nation. 이렇게 얘기한 것 자체가 to bring them together and make them one. 또 for the scattered children of God. 흩어진 자들을 위해서.
So from that day on, they plotted to take his life.
So from that day on, they plotted to take his life. From that day on, 그 날로부터, 말을 하는 그 날, day on, from that day on, they plotted to take his life. 그들이 그 하이프리스트와 그 페리시스와 바리새인들과 그 대제사장들이 they plotted to take his life. 예수의 생명을 취하기 위해서 그들이 plotted, 음모를 꾸몄습니다. They plotted to take his life.
Therefore Jesus no longer moved about publicly among the Jews. Instead, he withdrew to a region near the desert, to a village called Ephraim, where he stayed with his disciples.
Therefore Jesus no longer moved about publicly among the Jews. 그러므로 Jesus no longer moved about. 이제 예수께서 더 이상 move about 하지 않아도 이렇게 돌아다니지 않았는데 move about publicly. 공적으로는 moved about publicly. No longer moved about publicly among the Jews. 유대인들 가운데는 이제 no longer moved about publicly. 그 대신에 instead he withdrew to a region near the desert. 그런데 예수께서는 어디로 나가셨느냐? To a region near the desert. 광야 가까운 그 지역으로 withdrew, 물러나셨습니다. To a village called Ephraim. 어디냐, 어디 마을이냐 하면은 에브라임이라고 불리는, 이프라임이라고 불리는 그 지역으로 withdrew to a region near the desert, 광야 가까운 곳에 있었고, 거기에서 where he stayed with his disciples, 그 에브라임에서 he stayed with his disciples, 제자들과 함께 그 에브라임에 머물고 있었습니다.
When it was almost time for the Jewish Passover, many went up from the country to Jerusalem for their ceremonial cleansing before the Passover.
When it was almost time for the Jewish Passover, when it was almost time, 거의 이제 어떤 시간이 됐을 때냐? For the Jewish Passover, 유대인들 Passover, 6월절이 됐을 때, many went up from the country to Jerusalem for their ceremonial cleansing before the Passover. 많은 사람이 Jewish Passover 때는 다 예루살렘 성전에 가서 그 ceremonial cleansing을 이렇게 하기도 하고 거기 방문을 하게 되는데, many went up from the country to Jerusalem. 많은 사람들이 그 시골에서부터 칸츄리로부터 예루살렘으로 올라갔는데, for their ceremonial cleansing, 그들의 의식, 깨끗한 정결 의식을 위해서, ceremonial cleansing을 위해서 before the Passover, Passover 하기 전에 이렇게 준비를 하고 ceremonial cleansing을 하기 위해서 from the country to Jerusalem으로 이렇게 올라갔는데,
They kept looking for Jesus, and as they stood in the temple area, they asked one another, "What do you think? Isn't he coming to the feast at all?"
They kept looking for Jesus, and as they stood in the temple area, they asked one another. 그들이 ceremonial cleansing before the Passover 하러 간 사람들이 누구를 찾았느냐? They kept looking for Jesus. Looking for Jesus. 예수를 찾고, 그 정도로 예수가 많이 알려져가지고 모든 사람이 예수를 찾는 그런 상황이 된 것 같은데, as they stood in the temple area, they asked one another. They stood in the temple area에서 그들이 서 있을 때야, they asked one another. 서로 말하기를, What do you think? Isn't he coming to the feast at all? 어떻게 생각하냐? What do you think? Isn't he coming to the feast at all? 그가 isn't he coming, 오지 않겠냐? To the feast at all. 그가 축제에, Passover 축제에 오지 않을 것 같으냐? What do you think? Isn't he coming to the feast at all?
But the chief priests and the Pharisees had given orders that if anyone found out where Jesus was, he should report it so that they might arrest him.
But the chief priests and the Pharisees had given orders that if anyone found out where Jesus was, 그러나 the chief priests와 대제사장들과 Pharisees가 had given orders, give order, 명령을 주다, had given orders, 이미 명령을 줬는데, had given orders, 그것은 that 이하에 if anyone found out where Jesus was, if anyone found out, 누구든지 발견하면 where Jesus was, 예수가 있는 것을 if anyone found out where Jesus was, he should report it, 그는 보고를 해야 된다. He should report it so that they might arrest him. 그래서 그들이 그 예수를 체포할 수 있도록 이제 체포령이 떨어졌는데, if anyone found out where Jesus was, he should report it so that they might arrest him. So that they might arrest him 하기 위해서 이제 체포령을 had given orders 명령을 내렸습니다. 57절까지 예수님이 이제 잡으라는 그런 오더를 내리는 그런 내용까지 기록이 됐습니다.